My name is Rosanna Tufts, and I have been working behind the scenes promoting this event on social media. I am a talk show host on Perfect World Network Radio. My show airs on Wednesdays at 9 a.m. It's called The Tufts Get Going. I am also a Jyotisha. Jyotish means science of light, and it is the Sanskrit name for the astrology of India. I was trained by the American Academy of Vedic Art and Science. And one of the questions that I am constantly asked is, well, what should I be doing with my life? I'm getting so many conflicting messages. What do I do? Well, you came into this lifetime with a blueprint. You just don't know it yet. But your horoscope, your astrology chart reveals to you what that blueprint is. I'm going to be talking today about success factors in a horoscope. A success factor known as a Raja Yoga. Now, this is not the yoga that is the exercise form that you're probably used to going to yoga classes. Yoga means yoke. It joins something together. Raja, as you probably already know, it means king. And when you see a Raja Yoga in a horoscope, it is a combination for fame and accomplishment. And I look for these because this is where somebody feels a lot of confidence in what they are doing. They are in their element. To illustrate this principle of the Raja Yoga, I've been asking this question all day: whose horoscope is this? I chose this person not because she is an enormous beauty, not because she is an extremely accomplished actress and now director as well. I chose her because of her humanitarian efforts. Angelina Jolie. This is the chart of Angelina Jolie. I chose her because of the humanitarian efforts that she has done on behalf of disadvantaged children of the world. Now, to explain to you, how do you find a Raja Yoga? You're going to look for an interaction between houses of personal initiative and houses of luck. The houses of personal initiative are like the four corners that are like anchors in our lives. The first house is the first house of personal initiative. It represents your physical body, your physical vitality. After all, how effective can you be if you don't have the juice to be able to produce? The fourth house is the next one, and the fourth house represents your ability to maintain peace and equilibrium within yourself. How effective can you be if your mind is constantly roiling and turbulent, right? Then the next house of personal initiative is the seventh house. This is the house of marriage, but it can also apply to any kind of partnership, a business partnership. After all, so much of our success in life is dependent upon our being able to cut deals with other people, right? And then the last house of personal initiative is the 10th, usually regarded as the career house, but what it really stands for is your ability to handle pressure and responsibility. Usually this translated into a career, but not always. Now, the houses of luck. These are the houses where you actually feel God's grace flowing in your life, where things come to you easily. The first house of the physical body is both a house of initiative and a house of luck. The fifth house is the house of creativity. This is where you are doing something that you love so much that you would do it whether you were getting paid for it or not. Then there's the ninth house. This is the house of access to higher wisdom, higher education in general. It also represents philanthropy. And it is considered to be the most fortunate house of all. So now that you know what those are, personal initiative and luck, what you're going to look for is the ruler, a planetary ruler of a house of initiative landing in a house of luck. Or vice versa. Either will work, and you get a Raja Yoga. Now let's take a look at Angelina Jolie's chart, and we're going to see that she has 4 of these in her chart. Starting with the ruler of the chart overall. She has a Cancer ascendant, Cancer rising sign, and if you look at this chart, you can see that along with all of the signs that you recognize, I have also listed the rulers of each one. The planetary ruler of Cancer is the moon, ruler of the first house, and where does it land? In the 9th house. Ruler of a house of initiative, landing in a house of luck. The moon is her first Raja Yoga. Now, the moon is the planet of the mother. And you may have noticed as she goes through her life when she's doing this kind of humanitarian work, not only on behalf of causes, but from all the children that she's adopted, she actually kind of presents herself as a sort of universal mother. Now, how about the planet that's actually in the first house? That is Venus. Venus, in her chart, is the ruler of the 4th house. Venus rules Libra. It rules the 4th house and lands in the 1st. So this is also ruler of a house of initiative, landing in a house of luck. Venus is her 2nd Raja Yoga, and obviously you know what a legendary beauty she is. And this has been a key factor in the visibility that she has had. What's the 3rd Raja Yoga? Here's Mars. Mars is ruling the 10th house, landing in the 9th. House of initiative to house of luck. So there is her 3rd Raja Yoga, and it's landing in the most fortunate house of all. So she has been using her career to raise her visibility for philanthropy. That's 3 Raja Yogas. We found 3. Now where's the 4th one? Whenever you see 2 planets that each form Raja Yogas individually, joins together in the same house, the combination forms another Raja Yoga. By now you should be able to find this. Bam, bam. Mars and Moon together form her 4th Raja Yoga. Another interesting thing about her Mars is that it also forms a wealth combination. There are combinations for fame and there are combinations for wealth. They're not necessarily the same. In Mars's case, however, they are, because Mars also, in addition to ruling the 10th house, also rules her 5th house. 5th house is also the house of children, and it's landing in the house of philanthropy. The wealth houses are the 2nd, 5th, 9th, and 11th. Now you already know what the 5th and 9th houses are. The 2nd house is the house of your values and your sense of material security. Do I have enough? It's that feeling in your life. And the 11th house is the house of the highest personal ambitions that you have for this lifetime in this world. Whenever you see a ruler of any one of these 4 landing in one of these 4, you've got a wealth yoga, also known as a dana yoga. It is rare that I will see a chart that has no Raja Yogas at all. Usually you can find at least one. One of the exceptions, ironically enough, is Bill Gates. No Raja Yogas. What's he got? A ton of wealth yogas. Why does this make sense? How did he become what he is? By taking the accomplishments of other software engineers and bundling them together. That's how he made his fortune. And he, of course, now has become a famous philanthropist as well. So that gives you an idea. Let's see, we've got other Dana yogas here, other wealth yogas. Jupiter rules the 9th house and is in the 9th house. That forms a wealth yoga. I mean, just look at just this one house. It is packed with 2 Raja yogas and 2 Dana yogas. Then she's got one more wealth yoga. Ruler of the 2nd house. The sun rules Leo and it lands in the 11th. The 11th house being the house of personal ambitions. This is somebody who's going to try to do the most good that she can with the power that she has, because the sun represents power, your sense of personal power. So that gives you an idea of how to find success factors in a horoscope. And I think that if I were to look at the chart of Deborah Jerome over there, I would probably find a very strong 4th house ruler, because look at how she's branding herself, chaos to calm. Because the 4th house represents that ability to be peaceful within yourself. Mr. Omar over here, if I were to do his chart, I'll bet you I would find a very strong 5th house ruler, because look at how he's branding himself about doing what you love and finding the passion in your life. Yes, yes. In fact, one of my clients who actually is here today, Elaine Warfield with Exceptional Silks, I did a consultation for her about 1.5 years ago. And when I pointed out to her what an incredible Raja yoga she has with her Venus, she's been rocking that Venus ever since by doing something very Venusian and creating these incredible silk scarves and silk clothing. So that's one of my success stories over there. So my name is Rosanna Tufts. My website is rewriteyourstars.com. Thank you very much.